Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. In this episode, we're going to look at 20 new goals I have for myself. Should you make some goals for yourself too? Stay tuned.
1 Foot Flipper.
Hi, Paige here. How's it been? Those of you who watch me more regularly might wonder where I've been, because I'm normally good for 3 to 4 videos a week, and I've only posted 1 in the last week, and there's a few reasons for that. Number one is my kid Julie, she had her tonsils out, and she ended up being home from school for that for, a week and a half. The week she was supposed to be home from school, she was perfectly fine. Then she started having complications afterwards, so she ended up being off a few more days. And when Julie's home and sick, I don't get much done. Then I had an aborted video that didn't work out right. Then yesterday I spent a long time filming a video, because what happens is I bought a lot of 38 posters from ADH Dave on his Whatnot, and package came, I started filming the video, and I realized these aren't all here. Dave apparently sent me 2 packages, and I didn't know about it, and the other one wasn't there yet, so I didn't have a complete video. I gotta wait for that other package to show up to finish that video. So that's what's going on there. In my last video, some of you sent me some messages and comments that you were concerned about. Somebody said I might be having a midlife crisis. A few others were concerned about how I might have a lack of goals right now. And one really caring person sent me a very nice long message via the eBay message system. Not the best way to contact me, though. I much prefer if you just use my onefootflipper at Gmail email address or Instagram message. Both of those I would like better, because I can safely answer however I want on those, while on the eBay message system, all I can really do is say thank you or anything else, because I don't want eBay thinking I'm trying to make off eBay transactions through eBay. But the person who sent me the nice message suggested that I need to make myself a list of 20 goals. Just start writing them down and don't stop until I get to 20. And I thought, that's a pretty good idea, because I am really good at meeting goals, but if I don't have goals, I'm also really good at cruising and not getting much stuff done. So in this video, we're going to go over 20 goals I made for myself, and I'm going to throw the sales in. So there's still some reseller stuff in here. If you hate me personally and only want my knowledge and everything, probably move on to the next video, because this is mostly going to be about a few what solds and a whole bunch of goals I'm going to try to meet in the next few years. But let's get started on it. First thing I put is I'm going to get my mini truck drivable. See this thing right here? That is sitting in my backyard under the carport. That is my mini truck. It's an 86 Dodge D50 truck. I had one when I was 18 that I customized way past what this one is, to the point where it was stupid. And I decided I needed to get me another one. That was my prize to myself for losing my leg. And I managed to find one with an automatic transmission. I got the basic mods done, but it's not right. I haven't finished getting to where the roof will latch back on yet. The carburetor conversion hasn't worked out right on my own. It's leaking gas, and I can't get it to a real mechanic to look at it until I finish the roof latching on back part. At the moment, it's under a carport with a cover on it, so it's not getting rained in or anything, but I gotta get that thing going. I didn't buy it so it can sit in the backyard. I'm happy just owning it, to be honest, but I would like to actually take it somewhere, pick up my kid from school. The couple times I did that, everybody looked at her like she was a rock star. So got to get that done. And it's not that I don't have the money to do it. I have the money to do it. I just haven't done it. And part of the thing, since that's a hobby, I feel like I should do as much on it as I personally can myself, and only pay when I absolutely can't do it myself. We're going to stay in the car lane for goal number 2 is I've got 3 cars I need to dispose of. I've got my van that I've replaced with my Jeep. I've got a couple of friends trying to buy that. I gave one till the end of the week to come up with the money for it. Otherwise, I got another friend in line after that. So hopefully that one will be gone soon. We have a little red Toyota Compact that my wife doesn't drive anymore. We just have no idea where the title to we have to get a title to the thing and track down lien release paperwork for it before we can actually get rid of it. And since it's in my wife's name and not my name because she owned it before we got married, she has to do it, which is definitely why nothing is getting done on it as far as that's concerned, because she just hasn't made any effort to do any of that. And I've got my old Mercedes 380 SL. Here's a photo. That's my real midlife crisis car. I had my midlife crisis right before my 30th birthday. I bought myself that car, which had been my high school dream car, and I got myself a girlfriend. Got myself a 19-year-old girlfriend, or at least I dated a 19-year-old girl on and off for a little while. That was my midlife crisis there. After that, I grew up, and soon after, I met my wife and got married. But it's now sitting in my driveway. It got parked with just leaking some brake fluid, honestly, the winter before I lost the leg, and it has not moved since. I have discovered I definitely can't get in it with the artificial leg on, so that kind of took away a lot of motivation to repair it, and it's just been sitting there since then. I'm either going to part it out, or I'm going to go ahead and get it running again and sell it running, one or the other. I did sell the hardtop off it. It's got a removable hardtop. I sold that because I knew no matter what happens that I was never going to use the removable hardtop again. I'd only use the soft top because I'm not capable of handling the hardtop on my own. The hardtop to that thing weighs about 100 pounds, and I cannot handle that by myself with a prosthetic leg or even with my wife helping me. Well, the hardtop for my truck only weighs about 30 pounds, so I can actually handle that on my own. Okay, I sold right here a Lost Treasure board game. I got this from the $100 board game buy about a month and a half ago. Buy as long paid for self, and I got $24.99 for this. I believe it was working and about 98% complete. It was missing one or two things that weren't actually necessary to play the game. So, not too bad. Number 3, I might not be looking to maximize my eBay income at this time because I figured out I actually don't want to make that much money for the rest of the year for insurance reasons for both myself and my daughter. It would be better if I actually didn't make that much more money this year. It's complicated, but if I make too much money, I can't buy her into the state insurance next year. Then I'd have to buy private insurance at a much larger amount of money, and I'd rather not do that. I'd end up at a definite negative. If I'm gonna be doing that, which I'll probably have to do the next year, I want to have blown past that money and not be at a net negative for having made more money. Let's see, what else am I trying to do here? Oh, sorry. What I'm going to do, though, because of that, since I don't need to make the money right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill that draft bank up. I don't need to launch the listings just because I've got them made. So I don't need to stop listing just because I don't necessarily want to increase the income right now. Just fill the draft bank up. Keep the drafts pumping in. Just make sure they don't expire. Fill it up. Get myself 1,000 drafts in there. Or 5,000. You don't want to have more than 1,000. The system will hold 5,000, but everything past 1,000 is hidden. You cannot see them or interact with them. They only pop back in as you launch drafts. So you don't really want to be in the above 1,000 department. It's a nightmare to try to deal with. 4th goal. I'm going to try to see a specialist about my deaf ear. When I woke up from my coma in the hospital, I was missing my right leg. My right ear had gone deaf. Whole time I was in the hospital, they didn't care about my ear. Said it didn't matter. They said everything they could do about my ear would just make it more likely that I would die. It would just be bad for it. And then afterwards, it was COVID. I had 2 specialists that I waited months to see, who then canceled my appointments at the last minute, and I just never went back and did anything about it. I hear nothing out of that ear except for a little bit of ringing. Hearing aid doesn't do anything, and bone induction headphones don't do anything, and that's all I know about that. But I figure gonna do that next year is try to get that dealt with, if anything can be done, because being deaf in one ear is awful, because you lose your directional hearing. You can't tell where sound comes from anymore. The ability to tell where sound comes from your stereo hearing, the sounds hitting your ears at different times. And also, only hearing in one ear means that you can't filter sound. When you're in a busy restaurant and there's 100 conversations going on, you hear all 100 at once. You have a very hard time trying to concentrate on just hearing what the person next to you says. I don't even like busy places anymore because of this. What I do like is, though, from the same board game buy, I sold this Tripoli Players Edition. Sold this for $22. This is a good pickup in the green box. Catico, they made this. Basically, the inside of the box, they made the same way from like the 60s through the 90s, but the outside of the box did change. The older box does sell a little bit better, but it still sells either way. Number 5 goal. Next year, I plan on probably going to max out my out-of-pocket pay. I'm going to spend $8,000 on medical expenses next year, in addition to the $6,000 I'm going to spend on the insurance, because I'm going to do everything next year and hit max out of pocket. Isn't it insane that my largest expense with a bullet is medical expenses? My medical expenses are higher than all of our housing, utilities, transportation combined. You might even be able to add food in there. Because my wife doesn't look at what things cost in the store, but yeah, my medical expenses are our largest single expense, and it is just crazy. But I'm going to try to get a prosthetic leg that fits right, and that isn't broken. Because right now, I've got one that doesn't fit right, and I'm on a loaner knee because my other one was broken, and I'm over the weight limit for the loaner knee, so that doesn't work quite right either. Causes me constant back pain. And long as I'm doing all this medical stuff, time to get a new wheelchair. My original one is starting to fall apart, and I will have been at the point where the insurance company will have to approve it, because it will have been 4 years. And once again, since I'm going to hit that max out of pocket, might as well do it. Wheelchairs are expensive. At least, not like the one I'm sitting on right now. This is, I don't know if you can see it or not, this is one of the kind you might have seen out in front of a hospital or something in the old days. This one probably only cost a couple $100, but the lighter weight ones that handicapped people tend to use on a day-to-day basis, they cost like $3,000 or more. And part of which is stupid. They spec it out with a bunch of stuff parts that are line item bills that I immediately take off and throw away. And I have no option but to get those parts. The insurance company doesn't approve of those parts. They've got the things to put your legs on, take those off immediately. I don't even have a right leg. Why do I need a right leg stand? The armrest, take those off immediately. Wheelie bars, take those off immediately. I've got a small house, actually. I couldn't even operate that wheelchair in my house without taking off the things poking out the front and the back. But yeah, gonna get a new one of those. Number 7, I'm going to complete the process of giving my family a normal living room. We've started. They've got a TV in there, Christmas tree, some personal stuff. We haven't got a full-size couch in there yet, but we did buy the pretty much largest beanbag in the world that my wife and my daughter picked out. Both of them and the dog all fit on it, and they're loving that. And that's going to be there. Well, we're going to keep it regardless, but that'll get them through until they actually get a couch. All right, I sold and put it up on the screen. Elton John tape sold for $2.67. Not worth it. 8th goal. I'm going to get a spare tire for my Jeep. It doesn't have a spare tire. Pretty simple, just a thing I need to do. Although, more off since I'm frugal, I'm not going to go spend $400 on a spare to get a new wheel and a new tire. I'm going to keep searching Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist until one of them turns up. Number 9, next year I would like to attend an out-of-town reselling event of some sort. So far I've only gone to one reselling event, and it was local and single day. Number 10, I'm going to complete my CD ladder. What a CD ladder is where you have a lot of different CDs, certificates, deposits in the bank. Right now, my goal is to have one that comes up every single month of the year. So would have a solid year's worth of income coming in, even if we made nothing. And that's not also counting our savings, which is separate. But right now I've only got about a half full CD ladder. 6 months out of the year CDs come up, 6 months out of the year they don't. So I'd like to get that up to one every month. What else? I sold these two Santa's camera ornaments. They say Liam on them. Santa's camera is watching, Liam. I've got these ornaments in my store. Why don't you get them? Seems like a big thing is this year people are buying multiples of the same name a lot. That is not something that I saw in previous years. Not sure why. I guess because these ornaments can also be used as gift tags. That could be why there's multiples. Not really sure, because I did edit a lot of my order listings to also say gift tag, so that could be doing it. Number 11, finish converting my attic to full storage for the house, because I can't go up there. Julie does not want the attic room, even though it's 3 times the size of her bedroom. So we need to just make it household storage, since my house has hardly any closets and I'm using the whole basement. That way my wife's extra stock of everything in the world, because she is I'm not going to say she's a hoarder or a prepper. She's kind of a household prepper, you know. Not only do we never run out of toilet paper, we never don't have a 2-month supply, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, get that no death pile up there, no fake living room that we don't use, not piles of Julie's old toys she outgrown, just shelves with storage. Number 12, I need to remove all the remaining basement, backyard, and shed clutter. This is more of a time and physical work thing. Some of it's gotten pretty bad because my wife doesn't want to do it, and I'm not super capable of removing clutter the way that I used to be, being that I can barely carry stuff. I might have to enlist some help from some friends or somehow to finish getting this done. You know what I did get done though is that I sold not 1 but 2 Beanie Babies, a Club Baby and a Princess Diana Beanie Baby in cases, sold for $19.39. I got those from Meta Bubbles. Normally I wouldn't take Beanie Babies, but I took them only because they had the cases, so a little bit of money will go on his spreadsheet. Goal number 13. Need to replace my back gate. It is in terrible condition. It's sagging. It's hard for me to get open and shut, and since I have a collector vehicle, I like to park back there. That's an issue. Depending on the price, I'd love to just get an electric one so I could press a button and it would open, press another one and it would close. That would be hot. Right now, instead, it's a nightmare of dragging it along the ground because neither side stays up, then dragging it shut, then rigging it back closed. It's no fun at all. Number 14. Need to get my weight down below 300 pounds. I know that's still quite overweight, but if I'm under 300 pounds, I feel great. I have tons of energy. I'm not tired. I don't have back pain. I can do pretty much as a normal person. I used to be able to jog quite miles at 300 pounds. I was fine. I was perfectly, at least not perfectly healthy, but I did really good at that weight. But as soon as I creep above that weight, the back pain, the tiredness, everything starts getting in at me. So I need to get back down below there. Now 200 would be better, but I haven't been 200 pounds since I was 31 years old. So maybe we could see. And I'd also need to have probably 5 different prosthetic leg refitments too if I wanted to lose that much weight, which is also an issue since they cost about $8,000 each. Next thing I sold 2 sledding snowman ornaments. These are in my store. Once again, wonderful thing if you want to support the store. Catherine and Wesley. Total of $13.70. Number 15, I need to either rebuild or replace my tool shed. When I bought this house, I built a tool shed to 1 inch smaller. That I looked up what was the largest thing I could build that doesn't require a permit. I built it 1 inch smaller in each direction, but I was cheaping out at the time, didn't know how long we were going to live here or how long I'd want or need the shed. So while I built a perfectly sturdy frame, I just used OSB on the sides, and that OSB needs to be completely replaced at this point, and the roof needs to be redone as well. Just really needs to have new plywood put on top of it, and then a new bit of roofing rolled out over it. Don't even need to pull the old one off, really. Once again, something I'll just need some friends to help me do. I think it would be easier to rebuild the thing than it would be to destroy it. So I think I'm just going to rebuild it. Number 16, some point I'd like to start my Dungeons & Dragons channel, One Foot Gamer. The channel already exists, there's just no videos. If you'd like to preemptively subscribe, go ahead. I wouldn't mind having some subscribers when I finally go. That channel is going to be about fantasy world building, not 100% Dungeons & Dragons specific, and it won't be specific to any rules point in the game. One thing I did before I was the One Foot Flipper is I did used to write role-playing game material. My books didn't sell very well, but that's because there is a very low barrier to entry in that space. All right, I sold a PlayChoice 10 operating manual and schematics for $26.18. I think this came out of my personal machine. I had the habit of I would always pull the manuals out of the backs of my machines and put them on the shelf. And then usually when I sold the machines, I usually forgot to sell the manuals with them. So I'm still selling manuals for games that I've gotten that have been gone for years. Number 17. Next year, need to take a family vacation somewhere, even if it's just a weekend. We have not done a family vacation in... I'm not sure if we've ever done a full family vacation that wasn't us tagging along with my in-laws. My wife and I went away for a weekend once before Julie was born, or we went away once right after she was born and Grandma watched her, but we have not ever had a vacation. Number 18, I need to cook more of the family meals. Give my wife a little bit of a break with that. It is Christmas time. More ornaments. These are joyous Noel ornaments. This is a fun time here because these were pre-printed with the name Ken on them, in the inventory with the name Ken on them. When I went to the Ken bin, I found that I had erased these ornaments for some reason. I had you just buff the names off with like really high grit sandpaper, then we could put different names on them. For some reason, I had erased Ken off of these ornaments, and now we're gonna have to put Ken back on those ornaments. Isn't it crazy kind of things that happen? Goal number 19, get my sleep back under control. I tend to not crawl out of bed until 10 in the morning and stay awake. I tend to go to bed at midnight, lay awake half the night, and not crawl out of bed until 10 or 11 in the morning. I need to fix that somehow, some way. I know I have sleep apnea, but I cannot fall asleep with a CPAP mask on unless I am also dosed with painkillers. I was able to do it at the hospital because I was dosed with painkillers. I could not do it once I got home at all. And goal number 20, new subscriber goal. 10,000 subscribers is my goal for 2024, and you can help me make it to that goal. All right, thanks everybody for watching. If you know anybody who has any goals, tell them about this channel. If you have any goals of your own, put them down in the comments. I want to know what they are. Maybe your goal could be my goal too. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.